Okay, so welcome for this third talk. So really sorry for those who were interested by the discussion with Jordi. Once again, you can go back to the previous session to continue the discussion with him. And for now, it's time to welcome Pierre-Charles David, which is the product lead on Eclipse Sirius and the maintainer for GMF runtime and EMF services through Eclipse project Sirius relies on. In his talk, Pierre-Charles will remind us the objectives and principles of the Sirius technologies. He will also present how Sirius integrate with other modeling components before to give an overview of latest features and roadmap. So thanks to be here, and floor is yours, Pierre-Charles.
Thank you, Samuel, and thanks to Jordi for this great mind-opening keynote. So welcome to everyone. It's a great pleasure to have so many people connected today. I am Pierre-Charles David. I work at OBEO as a tech lead on the Eclipse Sirius project. And in this session, we will see a quick overview of what are the objectives and principles of Sirius, where it comes from, and how it works. We will also see how the existing Sirius relates to the brand new Sirius Web initiative mentioned by Melanie in the introduction. And finally, give a quick overview, a quick tour of the most recent developments and what to expect in the near future. So many of you may have heard about Sirius, but not actually used it in practice. So you may be wondering what it is exactly, where it comes from, and what it does. To summarize Sirius in just one sentence, it is an open source tool that allows you to easily and rapidly create custom modeling workbenches. The aim of the project is to reduce the cost of creating graphical modelers adapted to your business and to how your users work. One of the main benefits of Sirius is that it follows a domain-specific modeling approach so that you can create tools which are adapted to your domain and users instead of adapting your usage to existing tools. So in the Sirius approach, you start from your users and their needs, decide what kind of tooling you want to provide them, model the corresponding business domain or subset of a domain that is relevant for the task, and then, thanks to Sirius, you can quickly implement the corresponding modeler and ship it to your users. As your users' needs evolve and are better understood, Sirius makes it really easy and quick to iterate on the workbench to better match the evolving requirements. Some history first to put things in context. So Sirius was started in 2007 as a collaboration between Thales and OBEO, as the technical foundation for the model-based system engineering workbench that Thales was developing at the time, and which became Capella. OBEO focused on creating a very generic and dynamic tool that makes it possible to quickly iterate on modeler definitions, while Thales used this tool to build and refine Capella and give us feedback and feature requests to improve Sirius. Both Sirius and Capella were released as open source projects in 2013 inside the Eclipse Foundation, and since then, both have been actively maintained with major releases every year. Actually, we just released the latest version of Sirius just yesterday. Version 6.3.1 is available right now as part of the June 2020 Eclipse simultaneous release. So Sirius is historically a desktop application based on the Eclipse platform, but its principles are much more general than that. In 2019, we at OBEO started developing the next generation of Sirius, which will bring the same benefits to the web and cloud platforms. In this session, we will focus on Sirius Desktop, but stay tuned for a dedicated presentation on Sirius Web later this afternoon. So, as mentioned earlier, the first and arguably still the most sophisticated workbench based on Sirius is Eclipse Capella. It provides a complete workbench to design complex systems like planes, cars, or trains following the Arcadia methodology. Capella leverages Sirius' capability to offer many different representations of a single authoritative domain model, each adapted to a particular viewpoint, a particular task, or type of users. This means that different team members were working on different aspects of the system, from high-level operational analysis to low-level physical architecture, always see the same consistent states of the project. With the Team for Capella extension, they can even perform live collaboration on the shared model and diagrams. Another example of the use of Sirius in a completely different domain is OBO SmartEA, which is a product that has been developed by OBO to support the Archimate notation for enterprise architecture. It supports modeling the structure of an enterprise from the high-level strategic level down to the infrastructure and technologies deployed, and it also provides tools to help define and track organizational changes across the enterprise. And these are just a few examples, but you will find many more showcased in the Sirius gallery at the official Eclipse Sirius website, both open source projects and commercial products. I can show you a few examples. So for example, here we have Capella, which I already mentioned, Mindstorm Designer, which we'll see a little bit later in the demo, Advocate, which is in the domain of safety and risk analysis modeling developed by NASA, Modan by CEL, which is used to model numerical simulation modules, and many others in a lot of different domains. Oh, sorry. So all of these are using exactly the same Sirius, just with different configurations to adapt it to each specific domain. And of course, you will see several others presented in more details in the next sessions. The main idea behind Sirius is to use domain-specific models to represent your business data and to define corresponding domain-specific representations for your user to interact with that data. The models are structured as graphs. They can be as simple or as complex as needed to represent your domain or the specific subset you want to focus on. But by themselves, the models are abstract and do not have any concrete representation. So this is where Sirius comes in play. It sits on top of this and provides the tools needed to define visual representations for this domain data. These representations can take various forms, like diagrams, which are the most commonly used, but we also support tables, trees, forms, and property sheets. The representations displayed by Sirius are not just read-only views, but provide a rich set of interactions to actually manipulate the domain models represented. As the author of a Sirius-based modeler, you have full control on the structure of the data, how it is displayed to the users, and what operations the user can or cannot perform on it. There are actually two types of users of Sirius. First comes tool developers who use the Sirius-provided tooling to create the modeling workbenches, and then end users who use the resulting modelers. End users do not need to know about Sirius, they simply use the resulting modeler provided to them. With Sirius, what we wanted to do is twofold. For developers, the goal is to reduce the cost and complexity of creating custom modeling workbenches. And for the end users, the objective is to give them the possibility to use tools that natively speak their language and that are adapted to their ways of working. So concretely, to create a modeling tool with Sirius, the tool developer first defines the domain concepts and their relationship. This is the domain-specific modeling part, but the abstract language defined at this level has no concrete representation yet. Here. In the second time, the developer specifies the different representations through which the concept will be available to the end users, including the operations that the user can perform on the data. One of the strengths of Sirius is that it is very flexible in how it allows your data to be represented and manipulated. A single model can have as many different representations as you need, for example, for different user profiles, for different tasks, or different stages in a project. All the representations of a given model are automatically kept in sync between each other and with the underlying data. The abstract model is a single source of truth, and everything else is derived from it and kept up to date automatically and efficiently by the system. So let's see a quick demo to make all of this more concrete. The demo uses a modeler called Mindstorm Designer, which can be used to visually program a small Lego Mindstorm robot. The Sirius website mentioned here includes a complete instruction to recreate a simplified version of this modeler all by yourself, including step-by-step videos. If you want to get your feet wet with Sirius, I highly encourage you to try it. It's very fun. So here I have opened OBO Designer, which is a ready-to-use Eclipse package with Sirius pre-installed. And I have prepared a sample Mindstorm model visible here in the Model Explorer. So I can open it and see inside. Here the idea is to define what's so-called choreography, which consists of sequence of instructions for the robot to execute, like go forward, rotate, grab the object in front of it, or call sub-choreography. As you can see, just below the main element here, we have already created a diagram, which I can open. And the diagram is actually a graphical representation of the elements shown in the Explorer. I can select the elements and I can see that indeed these are exactly the same elements, but this time represented visually. I can see their properties and I can edit them, for example, here to change the distance for this step to 150 centimeters. And the change is reflected automatically on the diagram and the Model Explorer. Here we also see a palette with tools that the user can use to modify the model. Here to create new elements, for example, I can add a new go forward step, change directly from the diagram the distance, a new step to grab a new object, rotate left, and release the object we just selected, we just grabbed. So as you can see, each time I create an element of the diagram, it's actually an element created directly inside the model, which is represented on the diagram. Everything you see on the diagram, including the behavior of the tools on the palette, are completely defined in the high-level configuration file that I'll show just a little bit later. Just below the diagram, we also have a table, which is another kind of representation supported by Sirius. I can open it here on the same side, beside. And both representations are actually projections of the same model visible here, but with a different dialects. And here on the table, I can see we have one line per choreography, so the main one, C1 here, C2, which are sub-choreographies. And we also have computed columns here, which are not directly present inside the model, but are, for example, the total distance traveled by the robot when executing the choreography. And if I change one element here to 150, all representations, including the computed metric here, are automatically updated. So as I mentioned earlier, all of this is defined in a configuration file, which I can open it to show you. So this file is where, as a modeler author, as a modeler creator, you will have to create, but they are invisible to the end users. I just imported it here to show you how it works behind the scene. So we see this Mindstorm.odesign file actually defines the choreography diagram, table, and a tree. And inside the diagram, we have different rules which define how to map the elements defined in my model in terms of graphical representations. And everything is live. So for example, if I want to change the style of these edges, I can open its definition. Here it's defined as a solid style in black, but I can decide to change it to a dash, let's say in dark green. And when I save the modeler definition, Sirius automatically updates the diagram. So as I said, this file is not visible normally for the end users, but this live feedback where every change you make is automatically reflected on the diagram is very useful when creating your modelers. I try to just show you a slightly different example. So here I have BPMN Designer, which is another Sirius-based modelers. which uses implements the BPMN notation. So if I try to look at the raw model here, it's very difficult to make sense of what's happening, but we have defined a Sirius diagram on top of it, with a much usual representation of BPMN models. So, of course, this small demo only scratches the surface of what Sirius can do. The tool supports a lot of features to help dealing with complex domains and modelers. We have seen synchronized editors, which makes sure everything is always in sync. The tool supports, we also have conditional styles so that you can have the elements shown on your diagram which change style depending on their current state inside the model. Layers and filters which can help to manage large and complex diagrams and make them easier to use. Navigation tools between all the different representations, validation rules to ensure specific domain constraints are enforced, etc. Sirius is also very flexible and benefits from the extensibility of the Eclipse platform. So for very specific things not directly possible using the modeler configuration language, it is very easy to branch into Java and the Eclipse platform to extend the system. Sirius is based on EMF, the Eclipse modeling framework, which serves as a common API and format for all models. This is what makes it possible for Sirius to work on any domain-specific language that you can create. It also enables deep interoperability with the many other tools in the Eclipse modeling ecosystem, which are also based on EMF. So, for example, if you can use Xtext if you want to define a textual syntax for your models, and they will still be available for Sirius to display as graphical diagrams or tables or other representations. You can also use EMF Compare, developed by OBEO, to compare different versions of your model, either structurally as shown here, or even including a visual differencing between Sirius diagrams on different versions of the model. Axelio is also available to write code generators for your models if they represent executable programs. And for document generation, we have M2Doc, which can generate documents from your models using templates defined directly in Microsoft Word here. And the documents generated can even embed directly exported Sirius diagrams as shown on the right. So to get started with Sirius, the best way is to go to the OBEO Designer website. OBEO Designer is a ready-to-use Eclipse package with everything you need to create and deploy your modelers. It comes in two variants. The Community Edition is completely free and open source and the best way to get started. And to go further, we also provide the proprietary Team Edition, which adds support for real-time collaboration on Sirius diagrams. You can think of the Team Edition as a Google Doc for your Sirius models and diagrams. On the website mentioned here, you will find all the pointers you need to the documentation, tutorial, community forum, etc. OBEO also provides commercial services if you need them, with training, custom development of modelers, or new features for Sirius, and of course, professional support. You will find all the details and contact information on the OBEO Designer website. So this was a very quick overview of Sirius as it is right now. But as Melanie mentioned in the introduction, we are introducing a new variant which works natively on the web. And you may be wondering how these two products relate to each other and what the introduction of Sirius Web means for the existing desktop version. First, rest assured that Sirius Desktop is here to stay. It is a very mature product which is used in many products, including ones by OBEO, and there are no plans to stop maintaining it. However, since last year, we started to focus more on stabilization work instead of investing in big new features for this variant. This does not mean no new features will be added. For example, Thales and other clients continue to sponsor the development of new features interesting for them. But concerning the desktop version of Sirius, the rhythm of new features will probably slow down, at least for big ones. Our goal is to make sure your Sirius-based workbenches will continue to work and stay relevant for as long as needed. The new Sirius Web variant is where we will innovate while keeping true to the same vision that worked so well for Sirius. The idea is to apply the same principles that have driven Sirius's development from the start, but to apply them to a new, more modern technology stack. This will allow us to leverage new technical possibilities made possible, in particular, by modern web browsers, like richer, more diverse, and more interactive graphics, for example. This is also the opportunity to rethink some technical choices that were made in Sirius Desktop in light of our more than 10 years of experience developing it, so that the new web version will be even simpler to use, more scalable, and easier to deploy. Some of these new web-based features and platform improvements may even benefit to the desktop version at some point, using hybrid approaches like we already do with OBO Smart EA, but without risking breaking existing Sirius Desktop modelers. So to conclude this session, let's get a quick overview of the roadmap for Sirius, what has been happening recently, and what to expect in the near future. I will only talk about Sirius Desktop here, so see Melanie and Stefan talk a little later for more information on Sirius Web and a demo of the current state. As mentioned earlier, for Sirius Desktop, we continue to actively maintain older branches which are still in active use. And in 2019, we also released 2 major versions, which were contributed to the Eclipse simultaneous release, which we continue to track. As can be seen on the graph on the right, most of the activity is on bug fixes, but there are still some new features and enhancements added as we refine the existing mechanisms. Most recently, just yesterday actually, we released the version 6.3.1 with several improvements. This new version is part of Eclipse 2006 and will also be used for the upcoming Capella 1.4.1. New in this version, for example, are greatly improved the rendering of diagrams when exported as HVG file. Here at the top, you can see a Sirius diagram as displayed inside Eclipse, and in the middle, the HVG file exported in previous versions. As you can see, there was a bug in the size of the fonts, which are incorrectly computed and makes the label unreadable. This was a bug deep in the GMF stack, but it has finally been fixed, and now the exported SVG files are almost identical to what the users see on screen. We have also added a new style to render edge crossings on diagrams. This new style, which we call tunnel renderings, can be used by end users or made the new default on an installation. And for large diagrams with many edges which cross each other, it can greatly improve their readability and produce a much cleaner look. We have also improved the rendering of sequence diagrams, where because of their specific nature, some labels, as shown on the left here, could be partially hidden by other diagram elements before. Now we have made sure all labels are always displayed on top and stay completely visible in every situation. So what can you expect from Sirius in the next few months? As usual, now that the 6.3.1 has been released, the corresponding versions of the OBO Designer community and team will soon follow. The next version is planned for this autumn, around late October. It will be compatible with the upcoming Capella 5.0 major release and might move to Java 11 instead of Java 8 currently, though this is not completely decided yet. Do not hesitate to give us feedback on this issue if you have a strong opinion on it. As usual, it will also contain bug fixes, performance improvements, and compatibility with the latest Eclipse releases. The first open source version of Serious Web should also be contributed to the project at around the same time, though the exact dates are not fixed yet, so which one of the will come first is not clear yet. But the future of Serious also depends on you and what you need, so do not hesitate to give us feedback, propose patches, and contact OBO if you want to see specific features or improvements come to the product. A quick recap of the main points to conclude. So if you are new to Serious, the main takeaway is that Serious is a mature open source tool which makes it easy and fun to create modelers adapted to your domain and your users. It is a major part of the Eclipse modeling ecosystem, which provides many other tools to leverage your models in different ways. The big news this year is the arrival of a new flavor of Serious, which natively targets the web and cloud platforms, but the existing desktop version is here to stay. It is still the best choice for classical deployments, and the two variants are designed to coexist. We are very excited of this new web-native variant and hope you are too. Do not miss Melanie and Stefan talk later to see more details. If I managed to make you curious to try out Serious, your next step is to go to obodesigner.com. From there, grab the latest version, follow the online tutorials to create your own modeler in less than an hour, customize it, extend it, create new ones for your domain, and have fun in the process. Thanks for your attention. I think we have maybe 2 or 3 minutes left for questions and before the next session by Bosch. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Pietro. And I confirm we have a few questions. Okay, the first one is pretty easy. Is Serious free?
Yes, yes, it is. It's a license under the Eclipse public license, the latest version of the Eclipse license, which is a recognized open source license. So it's completely free. You can get it directly from the official Eclipse Serious website on eclipse.org/Serious. And even the OBO Designer Community Edition that you can find on obodesigner.com only contains completely free components.
Okay, thanks. Okay, maybe just a precision regarding your demo. Are the choreography diagrams a feature of Serious or the Mindstorm software?
Oh, it's completely specific to the Mindstorm software.
Yes.
Each Serious modeler comes with its own configuration file, which tells Serious how to project your model into the graphical shapes that you want. Okay. So this was really just an example, but I showed a BPMN modeler, and both were running in the same Eclipse, and it's really the same Serious interpreting just 2 different configuration files to produce at runtime different modelers. Okay, thanks.
Actually, we have a dozen questions here.
Okay, so maybe in the chat.
Yeah, I will ask a last one before to leave you. But okay, for those who are interested, you will be able to stay and ask more about it. So the last one, maybe. Okay. Is the EMF compare for Serious already mature?
I'm not the best person to answer this, but I know it's actively maintained and there have been improvements. I'm not sure they are committed yet in the main line, but there have been improvements in the last few months on the better rendering of comparison of diagrams. So if you have tried earlier versions, make sure to try the new or upcoming version for improved version. Yes, and we are currently working it. Yeah.
So I'll leave you. Feel free to complete the other question to answer the questions.
Thank you
for the